It's funny sometimes you hear a laugh and you know right away it's not about anything you did, but about who they think you are. That was me, standing in a marble lobby of some glass tower on Randolph, gripping an envelope so tight my fingers hurt, listening to the security guard let loose one of those laughs that's pure disbelief mixed with something a whole lot uglier. A black man driving for Rose Chase? He couldn't believe it. Yeah, that happened. But I didn't say a word, I just nodded, kept my back straight, and reminded myself, keep your pride deep in your pocket. Victor, you're doing this for Mia. That morning started at 4:30 a.m., but honestly, it felt like I hadn't slept at all. The radiator in our South Side apartment had coughed out its last bit of heat in the middle of the night, and my little girl was bundled under a blanket, shivering through a Chicago winter. I wanted to walk away from this job, God knows I did, but when you got a sick kid and the eviction notice is one bill away, you do what you have to do, even if it means agreeing to some of the most humiliating conditions you've ever seen written down on paper. Only left-handed drivers. Must own a purebred dog. Family lineage back to pre-1800 settlers. 24/7 surveillance. No speaking unless spoken to, especially not around white passengers. Uniforms so stiff you feel like you're wearing a straitjacket. No name, no past, no emotion, just move the car and keep quiet. But I was a Navy vet, used to swallowing my pride when the mission called for it, and that morning, the mission was simple. Keep Mia warm, keep her fed. So when the elevator pinged on the 38th floor and a woman with a face like it had been carved out of stone told me to wait by the window, I did. I watched the city below, people rushing to jobs they hated, chasing bills they feared, and try to remember I was one of them just with a different kind of uniform. They let me sweat for 34 minutes. Then a man in a black suit led me through a maze of hallways to a door that looked more like a vault than an office. Inside, dim light, cold air, and rose chase gray cashmere, profile sharp against the skyline, a voice as crisp as the morning outside. She didn't turn to face me at first. She just started with my file: military, honorable discharge, widower, one daughter, 7 years old. You know the rules? She asked. Repeat them. I did, jaw tight, staring at a pen she tossed my way. I caught it left-handed, just barely. That was enough for her. Monday, 5 a.m. Do not be late. Ever. No handshake. No small talk. No questions about my driving. Just selection, cold as ice. On the elevator down, the security guard called out, "You gonna last a week?" Most don't make it to Friday. I'll let that ride. Out on the street, Chicago slush soaking my shoes, I fingered the new business card, my ticket into a world that didn't want me, but needed me invisible. Back home, Mia met me at the door, big smile, handing me a drawing her, me in a suit, a heart between us, sun in the corner, even though it had snowed all day. Did she like you, Daddy? Let's just say she didn't throw me out the window. She laughed, that bright sound that makes all the mess of the day fade a little. Later, our neighbor Mrs. Jeanette dropped off a bowl of lentil soup. That woman, she ain't right, she whispered, eyes full of warning. Just don't let her change who you are. I try to believe I could keep that promise. I'll admit, sitting in the kitchen that night, tracing the final clause of the contract, no emotional entanglement with employer or their family, I felt more like a ghost than a man. But I looked at Mia's drawing, tacked to the fridge, and whispered, they want a driver? I'll give them a storm. Monday came early. I put on the uniform slate gray, gloves tight, name erased. The private garage under the tower smelled like money, oil, and quiet power. The other driver nodded. Jennings. Keys inside. Route on monitor. Don't talk unless she talks. Last I tried small talk was gone before lunch. I got the message. This was no job. It was a performance. Rose appeared at 5:02, black coat, hair tied up, sunglasses despite the dark. I opened the door. She slid in, eyes never meeting mine, and we pulled out onto the sleeping streets. For the first 2 hours, it was just the hum of the car and her tapping on a tablet, until she finally spoke. Do you have a pet, mister? Jennings. No, ma'am. Then why did you lie on your application? I'm marked not applicable. She went quiet. This was the game speak when spoken to, answer but never really answer, move but only by permission. We pulled up to a building, a well-dressed white man came out, kissed her cheek, gave me that look that says you're less than the air he breathes. "He's new," she said, crisp. "He still thinks this is just a job." The man smirked. "He won't last." I parked beside a row of identical black sedans, jaw clenched not because of the laughter, but because it wasn't the first time and wouldn't be the last. At lunch, eating my ham sandwich, I stared at my reflection in the window-blank uniform, tired eyes, a man buried under layers of judgment. She came back at exactly 12:30. Back in a car, she broke protocol again. "Your daughter's name is Mia. Gifted, top 3%. State school if you can save enough." I swallowed. "Yes, ma'am." She didn't respond, just let the silence get heavier. By day 3, I realized the uniform didn't just erase my name. It erased me from the room. One morning, Rose got in the car with another exec, Navy suit, all bluster. "Your board's split," he warned her. "They're talking about your driver initiative. Screened veterans, genetic lineage, purebreds. You're giving them more reasons to question you." Rose didn't answer. Neither did I. I was furniture to him. That day, Rose asked me to take her to a part of the city where glass towers faded into tired brick and bodegas. She got out, told me to wait. An old man selling incense stared me down. My uniform meant I could be anyone and no one at all. When Rose returned, she noticed I didn't ask questions. "Most men would have," she said. "Most men don't work for you." She nodded, almost approval. Days passed. I noticed things: Rose's hand shaking at phone calls, the bruise on her collarbone she tried to hide, how she flinched at raised voices. She was tough but haunted. Then came a twist I didn't see coming. One morning, she said, "You'll take Mia to school today. I want to meet her." I didn't argue. Power dynamics were clear. You don't say no to Rose Chase. Mia, as always, was polite. "Hi, I'm Mia. You look like someone from a movie." For the first time, I saw Rose laugh a real one, soft and surprised. Later, while Rose was in a board meeting, the exec from earlier pulled up beside me. "She's testing you," he said. "See how much humiliation you can take before you break. She's a storm in silk." I shot back. "Why do you still need to feel superior?" He laughed, rolled up his window. Maybe I crossed a line, but it was one worth crossing. That night, Rose handed me an old photographer little girl, dark hair, standing in front of a piano. "That was me," she said. "My father burned the piano the next day. Said music made girls weak." I asked if she still played. "Haven't touched a key in 30 years. But something shifted. A crack in the wall. Not friendship. Not yet, but something real." Weeks passed. One rainy morning, Rose asked me to drive her to the county records office. Birth records for Clarissa Tate, her half-sister, erased from the family by a father who feared anything with a heart. Clarissa died of cancer, alone. Rose's voice was steady, but her hands shook. "You're looking for what he buried," I said. She nodded. "Not just what, who I might have been." She started changing. That afternoon, she canceled meetings, closed her blinds. Next day, she handed me a slip of paper. "Arlington Cemetery, for 30 a.m. Wear your own coat." A break in protocol in Olive Branch. At the cemetery, she knelt by Clarissa's grave, placed a birth certificate by the stone, whispered, "You existed. You mattered. I'm sorry no one told you. I'll let the moment be hers." From then on, trust formed quiet, not spoken. But the board got wind of what she was digging up. The wolves started circling. One even threatened Mia, using her as leverage to keep Rose in line. That night, I asked, "Want me to handle it?" She shook her head. "Not yet. Not until I'm ready to bring down the whole board." We knew the war was starting. The next week, I was no longer just a driver. Rose needed a witness, someone to stand with her when she revealed the board's corruption, lineage manipulation, threats, old power clinging to its last breath. She broadcasted it company-wide. I stood behind her, silent but seen. In that moment, truth became a weapon, and their silence was their admission. Board seats changed. Clarissa's story became a foundation for scholarships, her name no longer erased. At home, Mia drew a picture: 3 figures in a rainstorm, one holding lilies, the other a piano. "Daddy, you helped my friend that cried." I held her, knowing the revolution was just beginning not in courtrooms, but in hearts learning to speak again. The ending, if you can call it that, was never fireworks and ticker tape. It was slow, steady progress. Me in a suit at the Capitol building in Springfield, unveiling a scholarship plaque with Rose and Mia by my side. Rose spoke of lineage, loss, and redemption. I spoke of truth, of choosing to witness history instead of just living under it. Later, in a quiet kitchen, Rose handed me a framed photo of Clarissa with a Maya Angelou quote. "There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you." She said, "You changed the story." Maybe I did. Or maybe we all did, one truth at a time, one name at a time. So yeah, maybe it started as a job I never wanted. But I stayed, not because of the money or even out of stubborn pride, but because sometimes justice needs a witness and history needs a name. That's what I tell Mia when she asks why people like us fight so hard. Change never starts at the top, it starts in the quiet. With one person saying, "I see you." With one erased name spoken out loud. If you've ever felt invisible or erased, or you've watched someone be made to feel that way, tell me, how would you have done? Where does your justice begin? Drop a comment, share your story. This isn't just about us. It's about everyone who deserves to be seen, heard, and named.
Xin chào các bạn, mình là Trinh, mình phụ trách viết content. Trên đây là những công việc của mình là mình lên mạng.
It is cold, yeah. Next one? Alright. Thank you, man. Hey, if you guys have any trouble, let somebody know. Please.
After the tree to hold on to. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
the fence.